video will probably be TMI. You can look it up in a textbook. I don't know all that information. I'm grateful that this time I wasn't peeing myself after birth. They will pull down your diaper that you're wearing, because yes, you're wearing a diaper. And I'm not trying to scare you guys away from having kids. And I would do all this again and probably will in the future. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brielle, and today's video, we're gonna be talking about all things postpartum. Postpartum means you push one of these bad boys out of your hoo-ha. I did that. It's very late at night. We're gonna be talking about from the second I gave birth, what happens right after he comes out, all the way up until this 2-month mark. And on top of that, I went on Instagram and also my YouTube video last week, I asked for questions to do a mini Q&A. Okay. This is going great. But before we get started with today's video, I wanted to give a special thanks to Ana Luisa. Ana Luisa is a jewelry company that has amazing, exceptional quality pieces at affordable prices, starting at $39. If you've been following my channel for a while, you've heard me rave about their pieces. I am a gold jewelry girl, and I love these pieces from Ana Luisa because they do not fade or tarnish like other companies. And on top of that, they have some amazing pieces that are great to stack. And what I mean by that is wearing them at the same time. I am obsessed with hoops, and these two together, are you freaking kidding me? So if you have your ears double pierced like me, this is a combination that you need in your life. I also have this necklace here, and I need to show you guys this. Let me just take this off for a second. So easy to take off. You guys, they're connected into the same clasp. It is a layered necklace in the same clasp. When I originally ordered this, I had no idea that it was in the same clasp, and now I'm hooked. And as a mom, I need things as simple as possible, so I was very, very happy when I saw that. I'm always honest with you guys, I'm obsessed with Ana Luisa's jewelry, and I will continue to preach about them until the end of time. So if you wanna check out Ana Luisa's pieces, use my link down below. They're actually having a 20% off their entire website until the 17th of November, so be sure to check them out. Right. Ew, hold please, we got spit up. For today's video, I thought while we talk all this postpartum stuff, I thought it would be fun. Not fun, because who likes this activity? Not me. But I thought I would kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do my laundry while we talk all things postpartum. As a mother, I need to be a multitasking queen, and I was inspired actually by Delilah. I think it's Loebski's life. She does sit-down videos where she talks to the camera and does her laundry. And I'm like, that is genius. I wish I could say this was all of it. I have the bad habit of doing loads of laundry and then putting the clean clothes that are obviously dried on my bed. And then at the end of the night, I'm really tired and I don't want to do that laundry. So then it moves into a basket, and then it sits in a basket for a long time until it gets wrinkled. And then Taylor doesn't even know that they're clean clothes, but because they're in a basket. So then he puts his dirty clothes on top of the clean clothes, and then I have to wash them all over again. Anybody else? No? Okay. I did just breastfeed, which means he does not need to eat for another 2 hours, which means mama is having a glass of wine. I also hate when people call me mama, so please don't call me mama. I don't like that. I'm his mama and Taylor's mama. Oh my God. I have not had a sip of this alcohol, so the fact that I just said that is... I want this not to be educational, but just to give you the information as if I'm your older sister, to prepare you. Tearing is when your skin around your lady bits get really stretched and they actually rip. This can happen inside, this can happen outside. It can happen from your lady bits to your, this video is TMI. I tore 2 different places with Grayson. This time around, I did not tear. Was it the dates? If you know, you know. I'm not sure. People say that dates help ripen and prevent tearing and all that jazz. My postpartum healing was day and night between Grayson and Riser. And that was because I didn't tear. Normally, right after you give birth to baby, they're gonna be stitching you up. You also need to give birth to your placenta. Your placenta is what provides Keep talking and going, Brielle, talking and going. Placenta is what provides nutrients to the baby while they are inside you. You can look it up in a textbook. I don't know all that information. Most of the time, just kind of slides out. Sometimes you might have to give a little push. Sometimes there can be parts of your placenta still inside you. The doctor checks for that, and then you get to hold your baby. This is my experience with no complications in either birth. He has spit up all over him. How did I not? I'm sorry, he's just hanging out. You're so sleepy, Bubba. With Grayson, I had my epidural for over 8 hours. With him, it was maybe 2.5 hours, if that. I did not have time to get a catheter. A catheter is a tube that they stick in your hole where you pee from that prevents you from like wetting the bed, because once you have an epidural, you're numb from here down. So that was actually great for me that I didn't have the catheter, because when I had Grayson, I, for like a day and a half afterwards, after having the catheter, had no control over my bladder. Like I would stand up to go walk to the bathroom and I would pee myself. I'm grateful that this time I wasn't peeing myself after birth. So an hour after you have your epidural is when you can start getting up and walking again, but your legs are like tingly and honestly feel like noodles for a while. So after you give birth in your labor and delivery room, they move you upstairs or wherever it is in your hospital to another room where you'll stay for 24 hours. When you're in that room, you have nurses coming in and checking on you, giving you medication for the pain, but also pushing on your stomach. And this is probably one of the worst things about postpartum, in my opinion, because of the fact that it literally feels like they're touching your insides. And what they're looking for, I think, are still pieces of the placenta. They will pull down your diaper that you're wearing, because yes, you're wearing a diaper. Look down there while they're pushing on your stomach, and they watch the blood flow come out. And I don't know, but I'm just letting you know it's painful and uncomfortable and not fun. Well, thank God your girl loves white wine, because I just spilled my entire wine glass all over our new carpet. So we love that. After you have baby's poop is like black tar. It's nasty. So that happens. When you're breastfeeding, you have insane period type cramps. I think they're more painful than some of the contractions that I experienced during labor. Like, breastfeeding is supposed to be this like beautiful thing. You're connecting with your baby, but the first day, maybe 2 days that you're breastfeeding, it hurts. So be ready for that, because that's something that nobody told me before. If you watched my birth vlog, I told you guys that the epidural, when they did it, they had to redo it. There was blood in the catheter the first time that they stuck me with the epidural. And when you're getting your epidural, you're having your insane contractions 1 to 2 minutes apart. You're in so much pain, you have to stay hunched over and perfectly still. Like, you cannot move, because obviously they're sticking something by your spine and you can be paralyzed. And I finally said to Taylor once we were home, I said, my back hurts so bad. I'm like, right here. And he's like, yeah, that's exactly where your epidural was. So I'm like, cool, love that. When you're postpartum, the postpartum care and routine that most women, if you have a vaginal birth, have to do is every time you go to the bathroom, you have to take a peri bottle, use those to help with the stinging and the burning that can happen from your tears. And you also cannot wipe for a while because of everything's down there is either swollen or you have stitches. So you have to use these peri bottles, which are full of lukewarm water, and you wash yourself versus wiping. But thankfully, because I didn't tear this time, I didn't have any insane burning when I went to the bathroom. It didn't hurt when I sat down. I was very, very blessed, because with Grayson, it was really painful. Okay, something that I dealt with this time that I did not have last time was night sweats. And by night sweats, I mean I wake up in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, actually. I said that's actually normal for that to happen when you are breastfeeding. And I didn't breastfeed with Grayson very long. Postpartum depression. I could do a whole video on this. Hi, buddy. We'll touch on this quickly because this video is a postpartum video and I wasn't doing YouTube full time when Grayson was born. My postpartum depression with Grayson was the exact opposite of what you'd think when you hear the word depression. When I hear the word depression, I think sadness, doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to get out of bed. What I had was literally the exact opposite of that. I was like the Energizer Bunny. I wanted to be super mom and I wanted to get everything done. I truly think that this was caused by a lack of sleep. I was trying to prepare my body and train my body to wake up and do all the feedings with Grayson at night. So I was sleeping maybe 2 hours a night. I would stay up until really late. Like I was staying up till like 2 a.m. doing the dishes, cleaning my house because I was having visitors. People wanted to come see the baby. And I felt like I needed to be a good mom and have my house cleaned so that people didn't judge me for a mess. But I put so much pressure on myself when I should have just been understanding that my friends and family, if they really loved me and if they really love you, they're gonna understand that you are in a new chapter of life and you're learning. Okay, we're falling asleep. He likes the aggressive rocking. I know it may seem a little aggressive, but he likes it, okay? It was more of a manic state. I hate that word, but it was a manic state. I was talking a million miles a minute. I wasn't sleeping. I was having a hard time shutting down. And what I mean by that is like Taylor and I would lay down to go to bed for the night, and I would need to verbally tell him a checklist of everything I wanted to get done the next day before I could fall asleep. They ended up putting me on a prescription, and I took it for about maybe 3 nights, maybe longer. I don't entirely remember. I honestly blacked out that whole time. I don't have any recollection of any of that. It had me sleeping 12 hours a night. It helped me wind down for the night, which in turn made my milk supply absolutely plummet, and so I wasn't able to breastfeed anymore. Truly, that postpartum depression kind of made Taylor and I can't speak for him, but it made me nervous to get pregnant again and for me to give birth again because I did not want to go through that again. We took all the preventative steps by having medication on hand, by having a doctor on hand, so that if he started to see the signs or I started to not feel like myself, we could immediately jump on it. Thankfully, I'm so unbelievably grateful that we didn't have anything like that. Yes, I have postpartum anxiety when it comes to checking on him a million times a night. Lack of motivation some days. Yeah, I've got all of that, 100%. So now I want to talk body changes. Everybody is different and every body is different. We grew literal humans inside of us, and then we had those babies. You're going to have changes. Your body is absolutely not going to be the same. Whether it's from breastfeeding, your boobs are a little saggier, you've got stretch marks, or your skin is looser. I did actually take some video clips at 2 days postpartum, and then I did another clip around 2 weeks postpartum. I'm 7 pounds over what I was pre-pregnancy. That is my 2-week update. And then I will show you today me 2 months postpartum. So if you've been following me, I wore this exact set in a lot of my bump dates. So this is my belly 2 months postpartum. I still have a lot of jiggle, a lot of extra skin, and I still have my line down the center. My body went through a lot, and it shows that on my body, and that is absolutely okay. I don't know why I was so anxious to talk about that, but it's a hard topic. So something that happened to me this time that I don't remember happening last time was I had extremely bad headaches every day around 4 o'clock. A lot of women inform me that that happens and it's very common and they're called epidural headaches. I don't remember having it with Grayson, but apparently it's a thing. They're like in your brainstem and they're like no headache I've ever had before. Also, COVID headaches are like no headache I've had before, but that's another story. So your first poops after you have baby hurt so bad. And I'm not trying to scare you guys away from having kids, and I would do all this again and probably will in the future. When you're doing your postpartum prepping, when you're buying like your peri bottle, making padsicles, packing your hospital bag, getting all of your stuff ready for baby, get stool softener so that you can loosen up your poops so it's not so painful. And then 5 weeks, 1 day postpartum, no more pads or bleeding. So before we get to the Q&A, one more thing that not a lot of people tell you is you'll get stretch marks everywhere. I mean, I have stretch marks and like very apparent veins now on my boobs, on my thighs, my hips, in between my legs, like everywhere, and it's normal. Let's get to some of these questions. I'm gonna go to YouTube first and look at last week's video, which shameless plug if you didn't see it. I posted it this Tuesday, so be sure to check that out if you missed it. Can you talk about the milk getting clogged up? I've never heard anyone say that before, so I just wanna know. I'm not a professional. The milk all got stuck in one spot and then couldn't get out. So my boob was getting really red. It was really hard in that spot, and it was extremely, extremely painful to the touch. It was extremely painful to breastfeed. And so, like I said in last week's video, you get on your hands and knees and have your baby underneath you and have the baby sucking while gravity helps take it out. That was the only thing that helped me, and I literally tried everything. Put the definition of clogged duct here, but that's just what I personally went through. How to not have stretch marks and look good after, because you look great and are clearly doing something right. Okay, you are extremely sweet. I know there's a ton of questions about stretch marks. The stretch marks that I have are actually lighter than my skin versus the really dark, like dark red stretch marks. Does that make sense? That's just part of the game. I did use this Palmer's lotion. I can't exactly remember what it's called right now. I used that all throughout my pregnancy this time around, but with Grayson, I barely did it. When do you get the epidural? Because I've heard some people wait till the end and some get it at the beginning. What's the best for timing so that when I push, I don't feel anything? I felt an insane amount of pressure this time around with Riser. I felt nothing with Grayson. My body had 8 hours to get the epidural in my system. I barely had 2.5 hours this time. I really wanted to feel and experience labor as long as possible. Some women, they get the epidural and they go into labor like that, which I've now come to realize that's me. Other women get the epidural and it actually slows down the process and the process becomes longer. I loved watching Clean when I was pregnant with Grayson because it felt like I was going through my pregnancy journey with someone, since I'm a young mom and I don't have a lot of friends who have kids. So I'm gonna go through these really quick. Lewebski's life, Delilah, she's the one who inspired me to do my laundry while doing this sit-down video with you guys. Sarah Therese, Milena Ciciotti. I love Milena because she gives me a lot of inspiration when it comes to Montessori play with my kids and just neutral aesthetic in general. She's the one who, the closing down the kitchen that I referenced a few videos back, that's her thing. Sarah's Day. Kristen Johns, I don't know if I'd call her a mommy vlogger since she hasn't posted a lot since she had her baby, which is completely understandable. Comment down below your favorite mommy vloggers. I would love to see what you guys like, see what you guys watch, and honestly, just to have more YouTubers to watch. A special thanks to Ana Luisa for sending me these jewelry pieces. Be sure to check them out using my link below. Like I said before, 20% off their entire website until November 17th. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every Saturday. I hope you guys have a blessed week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.